some news came out.
She looks creepy.
Hey!
Yeah. Happy Halloween Eve.
What's going on, everybody? It's 7 o'clock Eastern on a Wednesday, and it is the Screaming Room. And we got some news we're going to talk about. And we just wanted to wish everybody happy Halloween. There you go. I didn't tell Kanan that I was going to be throwing this on. I wanted to make it a surprise. But this is what
I didn't even think about it. You can't hear me though, huh?
Yeah, no, your voice is super muffled.
Hold on. I think I have a half.
I also can't see anything out of this. So like there is no I am not reading any chats out of this. So I'm gonna be taking this off real soon. But there he goes. But thanks for joining us, everybody. Sorry we were a little bit late. We were working on some stuff. And if you're on the Ghost Pirate side, please come over to the Screaming Room side. We'd love to see you over there. Oh, nice. There it is.
All right. You can hear me. Okay. If you this one, right?
Yeah. That's a lot better. Yeah. I just can't see. So I'm going to have to take mine off here in a second so that I can.
Yeah, I know. I just, for the beginning of this, I should have had something. I didn't even think about it.
But what are y'all doing for Halloween this year? What's going on? Let us know in the chat. And we're also going to go over some of our favorite Halloweens. We're going to show you guys some costumes that we've had over the years and what we love about the holiday, and just share some stories. And we're going to talk to you guys as well. So probably not going to talk too much about movies because I haven't seen anything within the last 2 weeks worth talking about.
Like we're talking about like some of our favorite Halloween movies, but like that's not what this episode is going to be about. It's going to just really be a Halloween hangout because tomorrow's Halloween. And we love Halloween around here. So
yeah, we are definitely okay. I gotta take this off. I gotta
I
gotta take this off.
Harder to focus.
Oh God. Oh man, and it's warm. This thing is warm. Oh, all right.
Anybody wants to see me in costume, make sure you tune in tomorrow because my Halloween video will drop tomorrow morning.
What's going on, John? Hello, good to see you guys.
Put a lot into this costume.
Rusty Shackelford, how's it going, Rusty?
What's up, Rusty?
Hey, Sue, good to see you. Hey, Yato, happy early Halloween.
So has everybody got their costumes?
What's up, Ralph? Yeah, are you guys dressed up with us, or are you just dressing up tomorrow?
Yeah,
we got Otaku 420.
Even dressing up in general, like, because I know a lot of people that don't even dress up.
It's delay has a Phantasm marathon.
Oh, that's a good marathon. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Like this, literally a couple hours ago, I finally finished editing my Halloween video that'll come out tomorrow, and it's the first time I'll be able to actually take a day off. Like the next 24 hours will be the first day off I've taken in months. So I'm super tired, but I'm looking forward to just binging some movies and just enjoying the Halloween season. What about you, DJ? You got any plans for tomorrow or?
I think I'm going out bar hopping. I'm going to be wearing that thing. I'm going to be wearing that scarecrow costume, and I think I'm going to be bar hopping around the town. I think I will ultimately decide closer to that time.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. I don't know yet, like if I'm going to try to go out and do something, because Halloween, the original, the 78 version is playing at the theater near me.
Oh
tomorrow evening. So I'm thinking about just going to that and doing the whole movie night thing. So, but we'll see. Cause I'm kind of tired of wearing costumes. Like I had 9 costumes this October, dude.
You're tired of wearing costumes? What is wrong with you?
You tried coming up with 9 costumes in a month.
All right, 9 in a month. Okay, I can. That's probably a lot in a month. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
but,
I never grow tired of mask. But when I talk about costumes, it's the fucking makeup, dude. The face paint makeup stuff just gets exhausting.
Yeah. Well, so what we wanted to do is all right, well, I don't know. Since we're on the topic of costumes, let's show the folks some costumes that we've had over the years.
Yeah, definitely start there. I couldn't find any, unfortunately, from way back, you know, like I didn't find any from like when I was a kid or anything, but I sent we have a couple from me from the last couple years.
All right, so here is me last year.
Oh, dude, that's sick. Did you just like? Is it like a foam or what? What kind of
Yeah,
material? Is that?
the headpiece. I don't know if you guys, you can probably see my mouse. So this right here, this headpiece, all the way like this, is all, well, actually not my eyes. This is all foam, and then the nose is obviously foam, and then the rest of this is my face.
So it's like multi pieces.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's
did
two
you buy
pieces.
it? Did it come with like? So it came that like with the pieces.
Yeah, it's just regular. It's just regular foam. I had to paint this, and I didn't paint it. I hired a makeup artist to do my makeup. But he
So
attached
that's what I meant.
everything, and
Like this isn't like a ready-made mask that you could just go and buy,
no,
right?
this isn't a mask you can buy. This is
Yeah,
professionally done. And I didn't get
that's super sick.
so I'm just kind of like a basic Ferengi in this, but I was trying to find Quark's. I was trying to find Quark's costume, but trying to source like Ferengi type outfit because it's those it's those like stained glass patterns. Trying to find like a coat with tails in a stained glass pattern was impossible. And if it was like, unless it was like official Ferengi like costumes that they wanted like $500-$600 for. So I was like, get out of here. So I tried to piece together what I could to try to. So I'm a little bit more of an executive Ferengi in this.
What
A lot.
what Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie are you watching, King of Sanity?
Yeah, I don't remember that scene.
I don't remember that either. I'm like sitting here trying to rack my brain. I'm like, when was that?
So that's me. And here is Mr. Ghost Pirate as a, what are you? Zombie?
It's like a Frankenstein.
Like a Frankenstein?
Zombie
Frankenstein
thing.
pirate?
Yeah, it was all hand like self done.
That's good though, man. Hand painted?
Yeah.
That's good.
Like I had a black suit, but I couldn't find the picture because I had like a black suit to go with it. I think I did a video with this makeup. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But that's from like I think 2020. I'm pretty sure that's 2020.
Nice.
2020
like
or 2021. Definitely a few years ago. Back before my hands were jacked and I couldn't do makeup worth a damn.
This is gonna be old because this is like an old picture of me, but it's one of my favorites. It's Mr. Joker himself. This is
that is good.
This is young DJ.
Yeah. How many years ago is this?
Oh my god, this is like 2010, 2011, I think.
You totally have a Joker grin too.
He's my favorite supervillain. It's that's not ironic, but like I know it's real basic. Like my favorite superhero is Batman, and my favorite supervillain is Joker.
Hell yeah.
So it's just like,
What's your favorite Batman movie?
My favorite Batman movie. That's tough. It's honestly, man, that's tough. It's probably.
I think mine's probably the second Tim Burton one.
It's a toss up between The Dark Knight and that one, Batman Returns. Yeah. It really is a toss up between those two. But
I also love this new Batman, the Matt Reeves Batman. I fucking love that too.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, I think all Batman movies except for Batman and Robin have their qualities.
You know what? Even Batman and Robin is fun though. Like if you go back and watch it now and like just laugh, it's just really it's just stupid. It's just stupid. It's like the Batman TV show, and like that's what they were going for. So yeah, I could still appreciate it on some level, but yeah, it's definitely not my. I wasn't a big fan of Batman versus Superman either.
Oh God, no. So, no, you're right. That one was. Here's Mr. Kanan as the Prince of Halloween.
Yeah, I don't even remember what this costume was for. I think I was actually going to do something. I think I went to a party or something like that, which I never do anymore. But that's definitely from 2020 or 2021 is when that would have been from.
And then, oh, here's another real old one. This is just funny. I think this one was even before Joker. All right, here we go. So I was a chipmunk.
Batman Forever is fun. Definitely fun. Oh shit. Is that a chipmunk or a bear?
It's a chipmunk. And trust me, I creeped a lot of people out just standing in corners and not moving.
Yeah. How old were you in this?
I was probably like
is
17.
This when you were a kid or?
Yeah, I was like
Okay,
17 or 18 around the time of this.
I just wasn't sure because I'm like, who are you with? Because she looks like she's pretty young, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I think her name is Laura, and I didn't even know she was sitting there until she leaned on me, and she scared the hell out of me.
Oh, so he didn't even really know her?
Because I knew who she was. I just didn't know she was sitting there because I couldn't see out of my periphery, and so she just leans in for the picture, and like just man. But anyway. Yeah, neither Batman or Joker are superpowered. Yeah, but definitely superheroes. And Batman can kick Superman's ass. I'm just gonna.
But I think that's why Batman and Joker like fit well together. Because like,
well, they're
pitting Batman, like his ultimate villain. If he was a superpowered villain, it wouldn't quite make sense. But like the fact that they're both like have to use their minds to do things. You know what I mean? I think that's why they're such a good pair of hero and villain.
Bobo, mind your own business.
Oh, as far as the
isn't that a Bud Light? Just mind your own business, bro.
Is that a Bud Light? In what?
In my chipmunk costume.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Never mind. I was definitely 21. That was definitely 21 in that picture. So this is an awesome looking mask, and I love the one eye. Like that fits so well. It's so good.
This was store-bought, but I did overhaul. Like very rarely do you see a mask that I haven't done some kind of paint on or done something to, like shadowing or airbrushing or something. This one I kind of just redid it for the most part. Because it was like too pristine looking when I got it, and so I like wanted it to look all torn up and old, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
give it,
that's
more
good.
character. So yeah.
I dig your fog poster in the background of this too.
Yeah, I still have that. It's right there. You can't see it, but it's up on the wall right there.
And this one's one of my favorites just because it's from one of my favorite non-horror movies. See if you can guess who this is. Anybody in the chat, if you can guess who I'm supposed to be.
Is that X-Men? Is that
Nope. But yes, I do look like what's his name? Like Toad or something like that. But no, that's not it. It's one of my favorite. I'll give you a clue. It's a superhero movie.
If you had an eye patch, I would say you were being Snake Plissken because you actually look remarkably close to that, but you don't have the eye patch.
Nope.
Like you should do that as a costume though. Snake Plissken?
Do Snake Plissken?
You have that like kind of gruff the beard, like I think you could do him pretty good.
You know what? Yeah. That would be easy. You got to send me an eye patch.
Yeah, I have a bunch of older ones that I don't.
Brad got it. I am Mr. Furious from the Mystery Men.
Oh shit, yeah.
That's who I'm supposed to be.
Isn't that Ben Stiller?
Yeah, it's Ben Stiller.
Dude, that movie's so fun. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
It's one of my favorites. Mystery Men is one of my favorite movies.
Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that. He guesses for Sabretooth and Rorschach would have been a good guess too. Yeah, this is from I think maybe last year. It would have been probably the year before last. I had a mask that went with it, but I don't remember what mask I wore for this. It's in one of the videos from like one of the last Halloweens because last year and this year I've done a lot more mask and everything for Halloween. You know what is crazy is all these people that comment on my videos this year, like, what's up with the costume, weirdo? Like, can you guys believe this guy's an adult? It's like, it's fucking Halloween.
What a bunch of haters.
I'm like, I'm making YouTube videos for Halloween on a horror movie channel. How would I not wear a costume?
Imagine not dressing up for Halloween. Like,
Yeah, but that's just not me anyway. Like, I love theatrics. I love
yeah,
face
man.
paint.
Plus,
I
I mean, it's
love the
Halloween.
artistry
Like,
of it.
get
Exactly.
a life.
Like,
Dress
I don't
up.
wear it year round. Like, I'm not like, there are some YouTube channels that, year round they wear costumes, and that's cool. Like Dr. Wolfula. I fucking love Dr. Wolfula. And and he's in a costume and nobody a lot of people don't even know what he looks like, but
Azrael's got it right. Every day is Halloween.
Yep.
While I'm finding the next picture, what was your favorite horror movie of the year? John asks.
You're gonna have to wait until December, late December, to see that, because I can tell you what my favorite so far is, but we still have a couple big ones coming up, because we got Heretic that comes out in November, and then Nosferatu that comes out in December. But then there's also Werewolves that comes out in November, and then a couple other smaller ones. So like, I don't know for sure yet what, because I think Nosferatu has a chance at being at least in the top, upper half of my top 10 list. So
yeah, same.
But I am releasing a video tomorrow, and it's what I think are the 10 scariest movies of this year.
So far of all the movies that have been released, The Substance has been my favorite for this year.
Yeah,
so
mine
far.
too.
So that would be just to answer the question.
Right now, it's not even close. The Substance is like my number one, and it's not close. But like I said, I think from the things I've heard from friends of mine that have already seen Heretic, and then from, seeing the trailers for Nosferatu, I think both those have a chance,
Yeah.
I
James
still
says
doubt that they'll surpass The Substance because of The Substance's originality.
James says he dressed up as a Tago from Kentai last year. She's a 22-year-old Japanese girl. I love it, James.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
Me neither, but I love the creativity, and I love that.
Yep. That's
Here's
awesome.
another young DJ back when he had long hair.
Oh yeah. That's a good look.
So I'm Dracula, or just a regular ass vampire.
Yeah, vampire, yeah.
But I went as Dracula.
Is there a version of Dracula with long hair?
The Bram Stoker movie had what's his name in long hair.
Oh yeah, he did have long hair, huh? That's right.
Yeah. But so this is vampire DJ.
Yeah, you pulled that off well.
Thank you.
The last time I ever went trick-or-treating, I was like 18, and I was high on shrooms.
Yeah.
And me and my friends dressed up and went trick-or-treating. I dressed up as a nun with an upside-down cross on my forehead. And like, looking back in hindsight, I feel bad because I'm like, God almighty, dude. I was totally one of those punk ass kids. I like, legitimately, none of us we weren't out egging. We weren't hoodlums. We weren't trying to hurt anybody. We really were just having fun with it. But like, it's funny to think about that now, because I'm like, man, if I saw some 18-year-old, especially with a full beard, stocky fucking guy like me walking around in a nun outfit, like, but yeah, memories. Everything was purple. Like, literally, in my vision, everything was purple. I remember it's the first time I ever tried shrooms. I was like,
everything was purple.
Yeah, everything was pray. Speaking of purple,
this is my favorite of your costumes so far.
Yeah,
so
this is last Halloween. This is last Halloween. It was like on Halloween, the videos I released on Halloween, I always try to do my best costume, and my sister did the face paint, but yeah, I wasn't even trying, like, I don't generally try to dress up as anybody. I try to just kind of come up with my own creation. And so the thought process was like a cult, like a cult leader, like a cult priest of some kind, or something like that. But I also took, with the hat, there's inspiration from like the Undertaker. It's like, I love the Undertaker as a kid. Like, that was my by far favorite wrestler.
Oh yeah, it was for me when I was a kid. It was like a three-way tie between the Undertaker, Sting, because I'm a huge Crow fan, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
See, Stone Cold is a
Rattlesnake.
little past my time. Because like by the time Stone Cold came out, I was like, late teens into my 20s. But like Undertaker was like my prime. I was like 13, 14 when Undertaker was, first coming out. Because like by the time Kane came out and like all that era, I was already like not. I was in music. I was playing music. I was more into that whole scene than I was into wrestling anymore.
I was very disappointed when the Undertaker decided to do his American Badass arc.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really dumb.
Yep, same here. Like that's when Undertaker lost me. But I really think Kane was cool at that time too. Like I love that mask, and I also was a big fan of Mankind.
Oh yeah,
Mankind too.
Well, I mean, all of his characters are awesome.
Yep.
That dude's a legend.
Yep, he is.
So
oh shit!
Here I am as Baron Samedi.
What's that?
It's he's an old voodoo priest. He's a legend. He's like a voodoo witch doctor
from a movie.
No, he's actually a legend in Louisiana.
Okay.
What's the city? What's the city I'm trying to think of?
Not New Orleans.
It is New Orleans. That's what I'm trying to think of. But yeah, but
okay.
So I went as Baron Samedi. And
that's sick, dude. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all of like that's probably my favorite kind of thing is that cultish voodoo, like that, like there's that mixture of that Louisiana folk magic look and stuff. I always love that stuff.
Yeah, me too. I just love old like legend stuff like that too. So that's what inspired this costume.
Yep. On my bucket list is going to New Orleans because I love that kind of culture and I just want to go to the cemeteries and like I've always wanted to go on one of the ship or the boat. They have the cruises on the steamboats or whatever that take you from New Orleans and go up the river. I've always wanted to go on one of those.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go there too.
Totally. I agree. Like the movie Angel Heart is like one of the most fucking cool horror movies, and it's just because of that Louisiana southern vibe that it has.
Super haunted city too.
Are you Ghostbusters?
Yeah, so this is me and my best friend Jason. We are Ghostbusters. We built
there we
our
go.
own
yeah.
We built our own proton packs. It took us like
Dude, you guys look great.
So we built our own proton packs. I wish I had a better picture of the proton packs.
Yeah.
But this and those things were heavy. Like they were heavy.
Oh yeah.
But
there's a local group of Ghostbusters here, and they're all hand make their stuff too. And I've got to mess around with their proton packs and stuff. And yeah, they're like the ones that look authentic are pretty damn heavy. They feel like it's a real thing. It's super cool.
Yeah, we were really proud of these.
What did you use for the lights? Like the lights on the ends of those look sick.
Those are just LEDs. So that's the lights on the end of those are actually they're plastic syringe tubes that we fit into the end of like a PVC pipe, and we just put in like mini LED strings in there, and when you turn them on, they just glow like that.
That's a good idea.
So that's cool. What that is. And then I also, you can't see it on my pack, but I also had a 2 AA batteries that had these power LED indicators that would like go in a array sort of animation. And so I had that on the back as well. But all of that stuff is just like electrical casings, tubing, and all that just spray painted black.
We got a party share.
Yeah. So that's that. Me keep finding these because I went way back. So this I love this one. This was a little last minute. But John says, what do you think about the Terrifier franchise, and will it hold up to Friday the 13th, Halloween Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yep,
I'll answer
absolutely.
first. I'll answer first. I do not like the movies, but I agree they will hold up and they will last throughout time.
I wouldn't put it in the Nightmare on Elm Street category Now, if the fourth Terrifier, from what Damien Leone is talking about, he's been talking about a lot lately, that the fourth movie, the whole story and everything will make sense, and it'll make all the other movies feel like they had a lot more to them than it seemed like on the surface. So we'll see. If that is the case, then I think it could push it closer to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. But right now, I'll take it over Friday the 13th. Like, as far as movie quality, I'd already take it above them. Not,
ooh, that's a hot take.
like, I love Jason, but dude, the movies have never been good. Like, anybody that thinks of those as good movies, fun movies, yeah, great villain, yeah, but they've never been good movies. Like,
I think Friday
the
the 13th
remake was pretty damn good.
Part 4, yeah. I think Part 4 and 2009, the remake, are the two best. And Freddy vs. Jason is also a great movie.
It's not once again, it's not a good movie. Like, none of those are really good. They're just fun. Like, even Freddy vs. Jason, it's fun, but it's not a good movie.
Yeah, but Freddy vs. Jason had like a good script to it.
Not
there
really.
were some cringy lines, but I thought.
When was the last time you watched that movie?
A couple years ago.
Because this is a pretty dumb idea. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. But I'm just saying, to me, the Friday the 13th movies have always been about visuals. Like, it's not about a story. It's about putting Jason in these interesting situations and giving these cool looks and gore scenes and creative kills. And that's awesome. And that's in a lot of ways what Terrifier is doing. I just think Terrifier so far, like, if you take the first 3, because all we can do is compare it to the other franchises as far as like 3 movies, right?
Right.
If you take it and put it up against the first 3 Friday the 13th movies, like, I think they're way better. I guess. Like, if we're talking about the whole body of movies, but you can't do that yet because they've only made 3. But whereas Nightmare on Elm Street, the first 3 Nightmare on Elm Streets are definitely better than the Terrifier movies.
I agree.
Because, I mean, dude, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is like one of the best horror movies.
It's one of the best. All right, chat. Who can guess the costume? So this is me and my brother-in-law. So who can guess who we are in this? Again, it's the hint.
He looks like he's what's the name of the guy from Mortal Kombat?
No, he is not Jax from Mortal Kombat.
Jax, yeah.
Good guess though, but no. So this is.
I love your costume. I just can't place it. I keep wanting to say like Darkman.
It's not Darkman either.
You guys are superheroes, right?
We are heroes. Yep. Hey, there it is, Otaku. Iron Fist, Luke Cage.
Nice.
We are the heroes for hire. That's what we are.
That's actually really good. I should have gotten that. Now, are you based off the movies?
No,
I mean the series,
comic books.
This
is based off the comic books, and this is one of Iron Fist's.
I was gonna say it's like the series, the TV series didn't quite look like, you know what I mean? It wasn't quite this look.
Yeah, so we went as the heroes for hire for this.
I did really like the TV series though.
I thought the first season of both Iron Fist and Luke Cage were good, and then it just went downhill from there for me. But
I don't think I ever even saw more than the first season of Luke Cage. I liked Iron Fist. If I remember correctly, I think, I mean, the first season was definitely the best, but I thought all of them were pretty good. But I also really liked a lot of it had to do with the actress. I forget her name now. Like, she's gone on to do a bunch of big roles now, but like, that was the first thing I'd ever seen her in. And I thought she was a real standout.
The problem with the
love interest in that.
The problem with the first season of Luke Cage is that they switched up the bad guy for the second half of the season, and he's less interesting and less threatening than the bad guy in the first half of the show. And it's just like, why would you do that? The first one was so compelling and was so good. And then they just pulled a switcheroo on you for the second half, and you're like, this is lame. And then
none of them
is forgettable. But and then again, same thing with Iron Fist. The first season was great. The second season was just
Yep, I was just gonna say none of them were as good as Daredevil though. Like the Daredevil series is like perfect.
Yeah, Daredevil is the best thing that Marvel has ever done.
Yep. I'm really curious to see if this new season that Disney's working on or Marvel's working on or wherever, if it's going to hold up, because
All right.
they've put a bunch into it, a bunch of rewrites and everything to try to get it to be back as close as they can get to the, the way the original first, 3 seasons, right? Or is it?
We'll see. Yeah.
Did we get 3 seasons of Daredevil?
We got
on
3
Netflix?
seasons
Was
of
it 3?
Daredevil. We did.
Yeah.
All right.
I
so
wasn't
this is
as big of a fan of what's his name though.
Punisher.
The other series, Punisher. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's
Like, a
definitely
lot of
not as
people
good as
loved it.
Daredevil.
It's
It's
I just-
definitely not as good as
I don't know.
Daredevil, but
I thought it was good. It just, I don't know. I think I kept comparing it to Daredevil, and it just didn't have quite the same grit. And, like some of it has to do with side characters, like, because everything in Daredevil was really good. Like all the side characters, the villains, like everything.
it was
Jason
just a
Takes
quality show. It was
Manhattan.
just so well written. All
And
right.
the anchor hits.
So this is sorry, I got to change.
I missed what you're talking about, Sean. I'm only getting the second part of you. Like, I don't know what you're responding to.
Sorry, I'm changing my calls, so you can pull.
All
up
right,
some
so
chats if you want.
So while he's doing that, you guys start telling us what costumes are you guys wearing this year? Either what costume you're wearing, or if you're not wearing a costume, and or your plans. And I'll start highlighting those.
And you all better be wearing costumes. I don't want to see anybody in our chat saying that they're not.
You don't have to wear a costume, but
yes,
you should do. Yeah, but if you're someone that is kind of just staying at home watching movies, like that's fine too. Like we're all adults. What I want you to do is whatever makes you happy and enjoy Halloween. That's what I want. I'm not Mr. Dictator over here.
I am
saying that everybody has to wear a costume.
You absolutely have to. So,
I don't know what you are here. Like you just look like a scientist or doctor.
Well, think about it,
dude. There's a million doctors that look like that.
So
maybe Herbert West.
I am Herbert West.
Okay.
It would be a better clue if I had. So I was carrying around.
You needed some kind of green.
I was. So I was carrying around a reanimator solution, and it was vodka and Mountain Dew. So it was vodka and Mountain Dew solution, and I would fill up my syringe and I would inject people.
That's awesome.
With my reanimator solution at the party. So that's
awesome.
So that's what that was. And don't worry, nobody's mouth was on it. It was all injected from a distance, so nobody freak out. But that's So I was Herbert West, and that's what I was doing.
You know what, Mr. Wonderful? I actually discovered on YouTube they have a bunch of these like Halloween or not even Halloween, but just like from the 80s and 90s. It'll be a block for like 5 hours of a random Saturday morning cartoons. And I was just binging the hell out of it the other day. Like I discovered a Halloween one. It was so fun to just flash back to I think it was the 90s was the one I was watching, but to the old cartoons from the 80s and 90s. And just, it's cool because they even have commercials. It's literally like they recorded 5 hours of a Saturday morning. And it was the coolest flashback. It felt great. Like I watched one that had Goosebumps. It was something had like Goosebumps, and it had I don't know. And then there was another one that had Thundercats, and it had Smurfs, and it was super rad.
I used to watch all those cartoons. I loved Thundercats and Wolfbane. Yeah, no, Jessica Jones was also a great show.
That's who I was thinking of. That's who I was thinking of.
No, Jessica Jones was great. And the guy who played
hell yeah, the Tick was awesome. I loved the Tick.
The Purple Man. Sorry, the guy who played the Purple Man was really good.
Did you ever watch the Tick?
I did. Yeah, the Tick was great.
Yep, so fun. Every time I hear that guy's voice to this day, I just always think of the Tick because he has that real recognizable, like sounding like a dumb guy voice. That actor. And
I forget.
Like it's great that he didn't even have to change his voice for that show. It just fit perfect.
John's going his art to a party. Nice. That's awesome.
Now, what did you do for the mask? What did you do for your mask? Did you just buy the like Trick or Treat Studio one that's out there? Because if you did, there's a couple tutorials online Not saying you need to do this, but it's an option. But there's a couple tutorials I've watched that are really sick where they take an art mask and they make it even more realistic. Like they cut out the eyes and they cut out the mouth. In some cases, some of them don't do much to it, but there's multiple different customizations you could do on that mask that make it even more like depending on what you want to do, but like make it even more realistic and stuff because you can have your own eyes in it, and they're really easy to follow tutorials too. So it's one of the more customizable masks that have like ever been made, which I think is really cool.
John Connor is going to attempt Uncle Fester, and his son is
Nice.
Pugsley. That's awesome.
If I didn't have the beard, dude, I would totally do an Uncle Fester. But I'm not shaving my beard.
You can always shave. You saw how many costumes I had where I shaved. Come on, man.
Dude, the last time I had no beard was 1999.
Wow.
And that was because of a job. I was the manager at Little Caesars, and I quit that job and I started growing a beard, and I've had a beard ever since. I've had no mustache at times. Like the mustache has only been like the last like 7 years or whatever, but I've always had at least sideburns and this part.
Mr. Wonderful's going as Edward 40 Hands. That's a classic.
What? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Allison, we're talking costumes. You missed the first half of this show. We were going through costumes that Kanan and I did throughout the years. So
you can always rewind it. You can always rewind it, but stay for now because we're still having a good time talking about costumes.
So Edward 40 Hands, you get two 40s. You can tape them to your hands.
And you just be like, drink.
And you just drink.
That's awesome. I love that.
Oh, Will's going as Afro Samurai. That's awesome, dude.
What you guys should do, since we can't see pictures on here, what you should do is tag us on, tag us on got hiccups all of a sudden. Tag us on Instagram, because I would love to see your guys' costumes. So just tag Ghost Pirate Instagram. Because that'd be rad. We could even share that like next week. Like if a bunch of you guys tag us, we could like share our best, like what we thought were the best costumes.
Yeah, and we don't have a Screaming Room Instagram, but tag Ghost Pirate.
Yeah.
So tag that.
We
tag
will start. Speaking of Screaming Room, we might as well.
Well, hang on. I want to know. Allison said she has 3. I want to know what your costumes are, Allison. Tell us.
Yeah. Don't just say 3. It's like 3 what? I want to see if any of you guys got me beat and have over 9 costumes. Because I have 13 costumes and then 9 that I actually went with. But like I have 13 different mask combination things that I got for this month that I've used.
Allison's going as Queen of Hearts from the nursery rhyme, not Alice. What's the difference?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Is it? Is it the one where it's like everything opposite? It's like a black and white version or whatever of Alice.
Let me look.
Where were you at? I'll keep going through them.
Oh, I was just bouncing around.
Okay. 40 Hands. Art. The new Treehouse of Horror this Sunday. Dude, that's one of my favorite things is usually every October I go through and I watch all of the Treehouses of Horror. I just go through and watch them all, like binge them all. Cause I understand not everybody loves The Simpsons anymore, but I still adore The Simpsons, but especially the Treehouses of Horror, because it's really cool because each year they pay tribute to things that are going on in that culture at the time of horror and stuff. And so it's really cool to kind of get especially the last like 20 years or so, it's really cool to kind of get a flashback of like, these were the things that were popular. I'm like, oh, I forgot, I love that. I always think it's so fun.
The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts because Allison is a baker. So right on. Love it.
Hell yeah. Afro Samurai. Nice, Will. I want to see that. You got to tag us.
She said, I have a lazy fit for comfort. Number 3 from Codename Kids Next Door. Nice. You have a rainbow monkey. Nice.
I don't know what that is. What's Codename?
Codename Kids Next Door. It's a cartoon. It's more my generation cartoon. Mm-hmm. And then she has multi versions of Bulma. Hell yeah, Bulma, Dragon Ball. Love it.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
I'm going to go as Master Roshi when I'm 60. That's so my when I'm 60, my Halloween costume is going to be Master Roshi. I'm going to get the turtle shell and everything.
That would be dope. You could do it now. You just got to do old makeup and shit.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay. Let's get into our announcement. So we have an announcement about the actual show for you guys.
Yeah.
And so what it is we've been going as the Screaming Room for a while. However, it has been brought to our attention that there is another Screaming Room podcast, and they are bigger than us, and they post all the time. They're an active podcast.
They're
and
just more established.
They talk about horror. They're more established. So we are going to rebrand. We are going to let them have the Screaming Room name. We're not going to be those guys, and so we are going to be rebranding. And Kanan, you can take it from there.
Yeah. So we've been throwing around a few different names. I don't want to say this is like 100% because we still needed to talk about it a little bit more, but as of right now, we're pretty sure we're going to go with Death Rattle, the Death Rattle podcast. So we're pretty sure we're going to go with that. And we may or may not have like a wholly different logo, or we might do just a variation of the one we've been using. But nothing really is going to change about the show other than just the handle. But then we will also start an Instagram with the name of that. And then we want to start posting the podcast onto podcast platforms again as well. Like
Yes.
Spotify and Apple. So if any of you guys prefer to have it like as you're driving, have a audio podcast or whatever, we're gonna start doing that again as well. But mostly the announcement is that we're gonna be changing the name, and we're pretty sure we're gonna go with the Death Rattle podcast. So, or at least a variation on that. Like we might add our names at the end of it or something. But what do you guys think of that? I'd like to kind of hear you guys' opinions of what you think of that name.
Yeah, because we like it. And
if you have questions of what Death Rattle is, a death rattle is basically something that a cadaver does. Like, I believe it's after death. It is just kind of like the gases and the air escaping the body. There'll be different noises and stuff that a body makes, and it's in the industry they call it a death rattle. So it just gives me like this super creepy imagery, and like it has a real eerie feel to it. So
yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. So probably starting next week. Like I said, we're gonna decide. We might run a poll to see what you guys like, but so far, Kanan and I like the Death Rattle podcast, and it'll probably be something like the Death Rattle with DJ Remark and Kanan Becker. Something like that, but we like the Death Rattle podcast.
Yeah, like it'll have the logo, it'll just be Death Rattle, but like the actual official name will probably be something with our names in it too.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant by like a variation on that. Like, pretty sure we're gonna go with that. So
that's the announcement for what's going on with the show. And we hope you guys continue to tune in because we like talking to you. Lauren says, I don't know if I like it, but it doesn't fucking matter. Gonna listen anyway. Attaboy.
I like that response. If you don't like it though, let tell us why. Like like you're not gonna hurt our feelings. Because there are things that we might not have thought of, and it's always better to have multiple opinions on things. Because whatever we go with, we're going with that. We're not going to be changing it again in a month or two.
Because we also doing this show, Kanan and I, we mostly stick to horror movies and horror content. We're going to definitely be doing that, but that also kind of gives us an opportunity to talk about other movies as well. A lot of people,
even episodes like this where we're just talking to you guys and just kind of having a party, just hanging out, and like it doesn't pigeonhole us. And that's what we like about a name like that, where it literally is just creepy,
right?
Creepy podcast.
The macabre. That's what we're into. James is suggesting the Super Happy Fun Time movie show. That's also an excellent. That is
I'm pretty sure there is a name. There is a podcast with something along the lines of that. I remember seeing it somewhere.
Really, the Super Happy Fun Time.
Yeah. Over here, Raising Cane.
There's the Super Happy Fun Time burlesque show.
What's this? What is this? A girl. What is an agonal breath? Yeah, what is that? Like agony, right?
It sounds like agonal is an adjective that means relating to or associated with the act of dying.
Ooh. That would be a sick name for a band. I don't really think that is necessarily a podcast name, but that would be a awesome like death metal band name.
Death Rattle gets David's vote. Thank you, David. Azrael says, I'm thinking of going as Regine. And they dig the name Death Rattle. Yeah, who's Regine? Are we dumb? I mean, we are dumb.
Well, yeah. Like, I was gonna say, well, yeah. we're the guys that named our podcast something and didn't really look into if it was used.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're dumb. This time we are actually looking into it, which is also why we're not being like, we are officially changing our name to the Death Rattle Podcast, because we still want to make sure we really double check and triple check that nobody else is using anything along the lines of that, which we're pretty sure there's not. But
what's going on, Christian? Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Regine Dandridge. Okay, I gotta look up this person.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Oh, from Fright Night. Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
Send us pictures of that.
Hell yeah.
That's good. That'll be an awesome costume.
Death Rattle Rabbles.
That's a good. Oh, Death Rattle Rebels
yeah,
with
Rebels.
Kanan and DJ. That's a good one. The Boneyard Disciples. I like that, John.
There is a Boneyard podcast. There's like almost everything you can imagine because there are so many podcasts now. Like, it's insane, which is part of why we're going to probably attach our names to it, because then it's like, even if someone else is using a name similar or at a later date, someone using something similar, if our names are attached to it, it defines it. You know what I mean? It's like nobody can make us change it because our names are like attached to that shit.
You know what, ladies? So Allison keeps getting costume ideas. Ladies, it amazes me how many of you don't go as Elvira for Halloween.
It amazes me.
I never see Elviras on Halloween.
It amazes me that more of you don't just go completely naked, because I think most guys would be just fine with that costume.
I don't know, man. I like. You're
like, what? I'm in my birthday suit. I wonder how much of that you could actually get away with on Halloween.
I probably not that much. Do you know how intimidating it is? So what? Elvira
intimidated to be Elvira. Yeah. I know. I agree with that. Cool. Like,
absolutely.
That's a tough one to pull off.
But
it's like being Thor as a guy.
Imitation is the highest. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Oh, do you know how many Thors and Iron Mans and Captain Americas I see? Come on. And Wolverines. I went as Wolverine. Yeah. I was trying to find my Wolverine costume. Let me see if I can't find that. I was trying to find that the other day.
But my point is like, Elvira's not just, an attractive gothic looking chick. She's like super voluptuous. So, she's curvy in all the right places. Like, that's intimidating.
Yeah, but even if you don't have the assets, right? You could still pull off the costume.
Totally.
And you're still going to look awesome. Like, I want to see more Elviras. That's all.
I'm just saying I get it. I understand feeling intimidated by it. Not that, because I am a big fan of creating your own costume. Like,
absolutely.
And I get that, coming up like being your favorite characters or something funny. I get all that. But I don't think enough people just come up with their own ideas. Like, that's why if you look at all my costumes this year, I didn't all of them, all 13 different ideas I had, not one of them was something. It's just me being this cool looking, creepy looking, whatever thing. And I just think it's fun to use your imagination. So, I always encourage people that do that kind of thing, that just come up with like pick a genre of something other and kind of come up with their own version. Like I've seen people that dress up to look like a Burning Man, like someone going to Burning Man. Like I've seen a number
That's
of those,
awesome.
or people doing the oh, what's it called? The where it's like tech vintage, or you know what I mean? It's like, what's that called? Like where people wear it's like mechanical stuff, but it's like old steampunk. Yeah, like steampunk is another one where you can be steampunk, but the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Like you can be, your own creation of that. And so I always think it's fun to go and do things like that.
I'm scrolling looking for my Wolverine costume, but the Susurrus Apprentice says, it really tempted to go as the King in yellow, but need some props. Get the props and go do it. That sounds like an awesome idea.
I think it's Susurrus.
James says he doesn't. What? Hang on.
Hold on. What did you?
James says he doesn't have the legs to do Elvira. Yes, you do, James. Let's get it. Come on.
Just shave those motherfuckers.
Yeah, dude. Come on. I did it once. I nared my legs for a costume once. I don't have pictures.
Same here.
I'm sorry. But yeah,
I dressed as a full woman when I was like a couple times, but the last time was when I was in my early 20s. I like did the full woman outfit, like dress, wax legs, like all of it, and still
we're fans of drag here. So if you have drag costumes, let's see it. Kings and queens.
See, that's another.
That's
exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I love so much the show Dragula on Shudder.
Because oh my god, Dragula!
Like some of their costumes.
Good.
Yeah, because like all the stuff they come up with, every one of their costumes is always like their own creations.
One of my favorites,
even when they're dressed as like one of them was Beetlejuice. They still came up with like their own version of like a female voluptuous Beetlejuice,
I forget what the queen's name was, and I'm sorry, but it was in one of the first couple of seasons of Dragula, and she did
Sigourney Beaver.
I don't know, but that's a great name. But she did she was
an actual female.
Like it was a Hellraiser. It was a Hellraiser inspired costume, and it was amazing. It looked so good.
I've seen a couple of those. There was the Pinhead one with that bald, the bald one. I forget what season that was. But yeah, I mean, like if you haven't seen Dragula, you don't even have to be like into drag. It's not like technically it's drag, but it's much more of like just these amazing theatrical costumes and performances. Like
they look so good.
It's so cool. Because they do like and like the hosts themselves, like they do these, like the show, it has really theatrical elements, like everything from the intro to the like, the way they have the set and then they also have horror guests. Like every single week they have all these like people from the horror industry. Like they've had oh, wow, I'm going to lose my train of thought. They've had a bunch of people. They've had a bunch of famous like horror and like Flanagan. They had Flanagan a couple episodes ago, and yeah, it's a super awesome show.
Allison says that she has the dress for Elvira, but she would need body tape. No, you don't. You don't need body tape. You don't need any of that.
What did she say?
She needs body tape. She needs the pasties. Keep her nips in.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
Elvira?
Elvira's had a couple of slips though. One of them's in one of her movies. Yeah. So you don't need it. I'm just kidding. She also wants
I know, because like Elvira, the way they have her boobs, like they're barely
she's wearing tape.
Because they're pushed the hell up and like strapped in, like because she's got voluptuous boobs, but not like to the level that they are for especially the movies.
I gotta find my Wolverine. I'm gonna find
Indiana Jones. That's a cool
Indiana
costume.
Jones. That's a good costume. Those are always good. Allison wants a Deadpool suit. Get it.
Yep. Hell yeah. Deadpool's a great one because like it's just a full body costume. Like anybody can look like Deadpool. Like, and I mean, of course, you got to have a suit that kind of. But what's great about the new Deadpool Wolverine movie is there's like a billion different versions of Deadpool now. So like you could be any of those, or even create your own Deadpool you know, like your own version of Deadpool. Like, what Deadpool are you? I'm Deadpool cowboy. You know what I mean? Like I'm Deadpool whatever.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up to the chats while also scrolling to find my my Wolverine costume. It's not
So
as impressive.
what are your favorite Halloween candy? Like, especially when you were a kid, what was the candy you were always hoping you'd get when you went trick-or-treating?
Dude, Reese cups.
And or what's your favorite candy now?
Reese
and is
cups
there anybody
then,
else
Reese
there
cups now.
besides and is there anybody out there besides me that likes candy corn?
Ugh, candy corn,
Like,
bleh.
see, I actually have candy corn right here on this set. All
Oh,
this
God.
candy that's on my set, guess what? That's my Halloween candy for tomorrow. It's been on the set all October, and tomorrow I finally get to eat this shit. I got my little green Snickers and Twix bars, and that is going in my belly. Because, like, I don't let myself eat candy. I'm a diabetic, so I can't, like, be eating sweets, but tomorrow is the exception. I get Reese's. Reese's definitely got to be one of the top ones. Let's see. Let's get to the end here because we're want to see.
Oh, here we go. Let me. It's taking a second to load. Give me 1 second. Here we go.
Yeah, Killer Cakes was awesome. Little boozy Bert. I agree. Killer Cakes on Prime. If you haven't seen that, I wish it was a full season because I think it's only 2 episodes, like a 2-episode special. But it was hosted by Matthew Lillard. We actually played the trailer on the podcast, you know, the beginning of October, but it was actually really fun. They had Daniel Harris as one of the guest judges, like super cool. I hope they bring it back next year.
All right, so here is, hang on. Yeah, I got more Reese's fans in the chat. Here's my Wolverine. Give me 1 second. You guys, I gotta, sorry, I gotta blow it up because it's a small picture.
Yeah, a lot of Reese's. Peanut butter cups, Reese's. Ooh, whatchamacallits. I forgot about those. I haven't had those since I was a kid. Oh, that's a really good Wolverine, dude. That's cool.
There's my Wolverine, and that's before I lit the cigar. I definitely lit that and smoked it because and I'm taller than Wolverine, so this is one of the first costumes of a character I picked that I was taller than. So,
how tall is Hugh Jackman?
Oh, Hugh Jackman is like, I think he's 6.
How tall are you? 5'9"?
No, I'm 5'7". Wolverine.
Yeah, so he's shorter than you.
Wolverine. No, the character Wolverine is like 5'4".
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a short little Canadian, and so that's
I just thought he was short just because of Hugh Jackman.
No, Hugh Jackman's pretty tall. At least I think he's 6 foot, right?
That's a fun name. DJ
I like
Kanan, Rancid Cauldron Podcast.
I like that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Sour Patch Kids are the shit.
Yeah, you and I are on the same. We keep clicking the same chat.
I know, we keep clicking the same thing.
Candy corn, blue, Whoppers and Twizzlers. Oh, Twizzlers. You know what, Allison? Allison, have you had Red Vines?
Oh, I love Whoppers. Yeah, Red Vines are way better than Twizzlers. I've never understood how anybody would want Twizzlers over Red Vines.
I mean, Twizzlers is not a bad candy, but Red Vines, I think it's superior.
Yeah, between the two, I just don't think it's close. But they're kind of a different candy, to be honest. Like, they have a pretty different taste to them.
Yeah.
But Red Vines, for the longest time, Red Vines and popcorn was my Red Vines, popcorn, and cherry Coke. Every movie I went to, that's what I got. But when my diabetes blood sugar got to where it was so out of control, like as I've gotten older, I had to cut out the Red Vines and the Diet Coke, and now it's Coke Zero and a small popcorn.
Heather says Warheads. That's a great candy. I love sour candy.
Oh yeah.
Too, so
yep.
Wolfbane says little Snickers bar. James wants to know: does anyone know the gum called Thrills? No. No. What is that?
James, you're in the UK, dude. You have different stuff. Like, I think James is over in the UK.
Peanut butter cups.
Yep.
Sean has a bowl of candy corn on his entertainment.
Now here's the thing. Now here's the thing. I mean, I think most people would agree that Reese's are the best peanut butter cup, but any peanut butter cup is about, like, they're not that much like I don't really feel like Reese's is that much better than other kinds of peanut butter cups I've had. Because like they even make these peanut butter cups that are gluten or not gluten, they're like keto friendly that I eat now because they're low in sugar, so I can actually get away with them. And those are even hella good. So like I don't know if there's a huge difference between any peanut butter cup and a Reese's.
Yeah, Mr. Wonderful, Wolverine.
Yeah,
the
we got
actual
another
character, is
Reese.
5'4".
Damn, he is 5'4".
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
they say Hugh Jackman is 6 foot.
I think he is. I didn't Google him yet, but I think he is. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because that's
Wolverine,
my
the
height.
actual
I'm
comic
6
book
feet.
character, is like 5'4", something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
friggin' Mike and Ike's. I love Mike and Ike's. You want to know
Yeah.
what else? You want to know what's a rare candy that I love? Is oh my god, I'm gonna lose it. Oh, I just lost it. Oh my god, I just lost it.
You know what I love is Muddy Bears, dude. Muddy Bears are so good. Like if you haven't had Muddy Bears, they're basically chocolate dipped gummy bears.
Good and Plenty.
Yeah, good and dude, those used
I
to be
love
really
Good and Plenty.
popular. You never see those anymore though. But they were like when I was a kid, like Good and Plenty was popular. But I love there's like those candy stores that carry all the old, like weird, different kinds of candy.
Pixie Sticks, those are good.
Yeah, I haven't had a Pixie Stick since I was a little kid.
Zero Bars, I've never had one of those.
Zero Bar. I don't know if I have.
Take it easy, Mr. Wonderful. We're going a little bit later tonight, guys, because we started a little bit later. So we're gonna go, and we love talking to you guys. And y'all are
we're having fun. This is our Halloween party. So
yeah, this is our Halloween show. So hey, fuck it, let's just keep going. Podcast name ideas: The Graveyard Shift. I like that. Echoes from the Crypt. I like that. Beyond the Grave and another Echoes of the Crypt. Yeah. Hey, these are.
I can guarantee Graveyard Shift has a.
Yeah, that's probably something.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Like the only reason Death Rattle one is available is because the podcast that uses it haven't made a podcast in like 4 years.
Yeah.
But like it's rare to come up with any name really that isn't used by a podcast unless you use your name, like your own.
Who is what's the pressure to be Elvira? There is no pressure at all. We need
for a guy. For a guy, there should be absolutely no pressure because
zero
you're a dude.
Pressure for a guy to be Elvira.
I mean, even if you go drag, like you're gonna wear so much prosthetic stuff, like like if you go drag, as long as you don't have a beard, you're gonna be wearing so much makeup and stuff anyway. I don't think that there's any pressure.
Hey, wine and beer on Halloween is good, Marco.
Ooh,
Lawrence likes Smarties. That's awesome.
Now, Marco, you're Portuguese. Do you live in the United States or do you live in Portugal? Because I'm curious, like if they celebrate Halloween there. It's like I know in Australia they are starting to celebrate it more and more. What's really funny is that it's spring in Australia, so it's like warm weather, and whereas like we always think of Halloween as cold and you gotta bundle up depending on where you live. In Australia, man, like it's hot. You're like a lot of the costumes are more thinking about lightweight, not super hot.
So I want to show another costume because I love looking at costumes, and I found one as I was scrolling through my.
I wish I could have found more of mine.
This is not for Halloween, but I just love it so much, and what I love is my brother-in-law's costume. So when I turned 28, I had an 80s party. I had an 80s themed party, so everybody came dressed as 80s characters, and I came.
Thank you, Marco.
I went to my own birthday party as James Hetfield from Metallica.
Oh, nice.
80s version. I even sourced
with the mullet and everything.
Yeah. And I even sourced a tank top that he wore. So there's a picture of James Hetfield and he's just blasted drunk sitting in a chair with this shirt on. And so I sourced that shirt and I wore that.
One of the like sleeveless.
Yeah. But this is my family at the 80s party. And I love my brother-in-law's costume. So this is it. My brother-in-law is Mr. T, and he's like,
awesome.
Isn't that perfect?
Dude, that's so good. I love Mr. T, man. When I was a kid, like I idolized Mr. T. Look
Oh my
at
God,
your
it's so
hair.
good. I know. It's just such a shitty wig. And that was so late into the night. Like I could not keep that thing on. But yeah, so that sorry, I wanted to show you guys that just because I like. I mean, my brother-in-law is. I love that guy.
Ooh, I like white chocolate, so I need to try a
I
zero
don't.
bar. I just like candy. There's not very many types of candy I don't like. Like I don't like black licorice, but
Sorry,
I
Allison.
like almost all candy.
She's
Yeah,
okay.
so Marco is in Portugal. So do you guys celebrate it over there?
So hang on, I gotta address this. So Allison hates Metallica. We are now apparently enemies because you like Megadeth. That's fine. You're allowed to like Megadeth. Megadeth is a good band.
Megadeth. I'm not a huge Metallica fan.
Metallica is the superior band. I'm sorry.
I loved Metallica. Yeah, I don't. I think most, like, especially music, like body of work wise, like I loved some of Megadeth. Like, you know, they had a time period where they had some pretty bangers coming out, but I think the body of work, Metallica is definitely the better band. I just haven't liked them in, 20 plus years. I don't like what they've, like, their personalities and how they treated their fans, especially in the Napster era. And then just for a long time, like Load and Reload, the music that was coming out was so like made to make money. It didn't feel like it had any.
We can talk about Load and Reload
in it.
We can talk about post Black Album Metallica. We can definitely do that, and I will have that. I will have
but
that.
Prior to that, Metallica was the shit.
Yeah. I just want to address this. The Otaku says the guy with the Bernie Kosar shirt's overpowered. That's my dad, and he is definitely OP. And that is a timed, like, he's had that jersey since Kosar.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Oh, this is Allison. How can you say this? How can you say that you don't like listening to the same song 20 times?
But you like Megadeth.
You're a Megadeth fan. That's every single Megadeth album is.
I'm on DJ on this
album.
one. It's like the same riffs, dude. Dave Mustaine plays a lot of the same like riffs.
He's a great
variations
guitarist
on it.
But
he's not a great writer, dude.
That is Megadeth, Allison. What are you talking about? That is Megadeth.
Yeah. I mean, to me, Megadeth is right there with AC/DC, where they have a good sound, but like everything sounds very, very similar. And like, as much as I am a hater of Metallica since the Black Album, even still, each album has a very unique feel to it. Like they are always reinventing themselves. Like, I gotta respect Metallica. So one of the rare cases I'm with DJ on something.
She likes Dave Mustaine's voice. Hello, me. It's the real
dude,
me.
No.
I can listen to this voice for about 3 seconds before I have to turn off.
Mustaine's voice.
Really? This was the hello, me. It's the.
But I don't think it's better than Dave. But I don't think it's better than James Hetfield.
No, it's
like,
not.
If anything, I could maybe in the same, because neither of them does a whole lot vocally. Which is part of why I'm not a huge Metallica fan, because I'm all about vocals. And
I would take that.
But yeah, but I mean, Dave Mustaine, nothing about Megadeth is everything, and most musicians, even musicians that love Megadeth, will say that. So this is one of the rare cases I'm with DJ.
no hate to you, Allison. I love you, but that's so funny. And Megadeth is a great band. They really are. They're a great band.
Yeah, I actually got to see Megadeth do an acoustic. Well, really, it was mostly just Dave Mustaine, but he did like this acoustic little tiny show that was really meant to just be like a private show for a bunch of the Sacramento Kings is like the pro team in Sacramento where I live. And it was like a private kind of show just for like famous local people. Basically, it was for one of our Kings players' birthdays. This is like back in like 2005 or 6, something like that. And it was just Dave Mustaine and his guitar. And then like, I think he had one other guy playing with him. I forget, but it was pretty dope to see him just chilling, playing his acoustic guitar in front of like 300 people.
So Marco has a great question, and I love answering this question. It says, why most horror YouTubers love metal? I love horror and like German techno. German techno is good, but the reason why we love metal so much is because horror and metal are two extreme genres. They're two fringes of
Yeah, they kind of come from a lot of the same like place that like what inspires you to create horror is kind of a real similar place to what creates metal, and they're both similar too, as in they're so diverse.
Well, and they all
Like
then they
to
have
me, the
same,
most creative music that gets to go in every extreme possible is metal, and horror movies are the same. It's like
and
you can
they have the
play around
same.
with comedy, you can play around with anger, you can play around with evil, good, like literally everything is is available to you when you're creating in either genre.
And they have the same imagery. You see a lot of the same
Yep.
imagery in horror as metal as well, and it's because
Yep.
again, it's that extreme fringe, and that's why it's like. But I like I like my metal is my favorite genre, and then right after that is new retro wave and the dark wave and
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I
outrun
love dark wave stuff.
section
Yeah.
of those like synth pop kind of like
Yeah.
because I'm
Kadinsky.
also like I love the 80s and
Yep.
the synth the new retro wave genre with their synth pop and all that, it just takes
Yep.
me all the way back to 1984, even though I wasn't alive. But I'm
That's what I was
nostalgic
saying.
for that time.
Kadinsky, like he
Yeah, Kavinsky, yeah.
yeah,
Even
like
though
the stuff he does
he
is
hates
so
retro
cool.
wave fans, so fuck Kavinsky, but
Which
like
makes
he's
no
great.
sense because that's
I
what
know.
he plays.
I know he's a fucking idiot, but we love him.
But see, I love metal, but I also love all types of music. I mean, I really love a lot of pop music. Like I've been really into Chapel Roan right now, and I love Poppy, and I love uh Cassiette, and like stuff that's like more poppy too. Like I listen to all variety of music. So I don't feel like when I was young, it was like, if you don't like, it's all about metal, that kind of thing. And it's like, you identified yourself as a metal fan, and it was like the only thing you really could, listen to or whatever. But as I've gotten older, that's changed. Like I love all different forms of music. Everything. I mean, there's country I love listening to at times. Like it just, I'm really into a lot of different hip hop. So it really just, just depends on kind of the
Time
mood
Cop
I'm in.
1984. Otaku says Time Cop 1984. Kavinsky, Mr. Kitty. Dude, if you listen to the
Yep.
Midnight or
Mr.
Jesse
Kitty.
Fry,
I've been really digging on Mr. Kitty lately.
September 87. Those dudes are next level, and their music
I don't think I've heard
videos-
them.
Oh, their music videos are awesome. Hang on. I'm gonna play just a little bit so we don't get copyright struck, but I want to show you guys just a little bit.
Copyright us in a second, man. You only get like 5 seconds, I think.
6 seconds. You get 6 seconds
of audio.
Yep.
I don't know how we ended up over here.
Doesn't matter.
We're talking about music now. I gotta say, like for Halloween music, like my Spotify DJ just started playing earlier, and it was like inspired Halloween, and this was the genre that it started playing. It like feels perfect for Halloween vibes. Like dark synth stuff.
All right. Let me see here. People are talking about Cradle of Filth. That band is good. I just hate Danny Filth.
We can't use radio music.
Yeah, we can't.
It isn't a matter of applying for it. It's you got to pay for it, and even then, it's you have if you pay for certain services, and then you get royalty rights to use those, but there's still only certain ways you can use them, and only certain songs that are available, and like most YouTubers, it's just not even worth it. It's super expensive and it's complicated because as soon as your licensing isn't paid for, they could come after you. And it's like if you posted a video, from years before with it, even though you had rights then, they can come after you in the future. So
you guys can't hear this audio, right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure you guys can't hear this audio.
Yeah. I can't hear it.
Okay,
so
good.
Can't hear it.
So we shouldn't get copyright struck, but this is a September 87 music video, and it's fucking awesome.
That's super fun.
The song is great. Here, I'm gonna skip through. Sorry. But like, just look at the costumes and look at the way this thing's shot, especially with the 4:3 aspect ratio. Like, look at the costumes and the makeup in this music video. It's so awesome. I I'm gay for these guys. I mean,
I love Marilyn Manson too. Like I'm with whoever said that. But back to metal and horror. Some of it is because it goes back to the 80s, where right at the same time horror was taken off in the 80s, so was metal. And a lot of the horror movies were using metal music in them, and a lot of the metal music videos were horror aesthetic. It was like you had Freddy and like a lot of this horror aesthetic that was in a lot of these movies. And so it's kind of like a lot of us have grown up with that, and then it's continued into the 90s and into the 2000s and so on. So it's like it's interwoven at this point. Like, you know, you have people out there like Ice Nine Kills. You know, all their songs are horror movie inspired, and their music videos are horror movie. And like they just did a Terrifier one where the song is about the movie, and all the guys from Terrifier help make the music video, and Art the Clown's in it, and it's super gory and bloody. You know, so it's one of those, like, it's just, you know, it's interwoven that you can't, there's like, they're both inspired from each other. It's like metal music is inspired from watching horror movies. Cause I know when I was making music, you know, a lot of times I was watching horror movies and thinking about horror imagery and all of that when I was writing lyrics and music and stuff, and then vice versa. So,
yeah, Ice Nine Kills. I like everything that they do. I can only listen to that guy's voice for so long. And
yeah, I've heard a few. I love his voice. I love the band, but I've heard a few people feel that way.
It's his cleans are too whiny for me sometimes. Like but I like the music. I love the themes and imagery. I was actually in their is it the Never Sleep Again? Is that the song? The Never Sleep Again?
Yeah.
The
yeah,
Nightmare
the Friday
one?
the 13th one. Yeah. Or no, I mean the Nightmare on Elm Street one. Yeah.
The girl in the Nightmare on Elm Street one, I think that's one of their friends, because I wanted to cast her in the Hellgate. I loved her look. I loved everything that she was doing. I scrounged the internet, like probably to a creepy level, just to try to see if I couldn't like reach out to her about a role. But I think she's just one of her friends. Like she's not listed on IMDb or anything, but I loved her look, and I loved everything she did in that video.
I think it's his girl. I think it's Spencer's.
Is it
wife.
really? Oh,
I think that's his wife.
Yeah.
You're talking about the music video, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about the music video.
I'm pretty sure it's his wife, because I know she's done a couple little things here and there. But also they're in Hollywood, so they get a lot of like,
I'm sure
they're friends with all these different, you know, people that are not always actors, and you know, like they've had James and Chelsea from Dead Meat in their music videos. So yeah. I like their heavier stuff. I like the heavier stuff they do more than, but either way, I like them. But I get the whole, you know, I get it.
I like the melodic voice. I like melodic singing. One of my favorite bands is Killswitch Engage, so I'm definitely into the metalcore, you know, like alt metal sound. But it's
because I feel like Howard's Killswitch.
Oh, it's Howard's
the best.
Yeah, Howard definitely. I mean, I love Jesse Leach. I think he has a great voice. I think he's a great songwriter.
His melodics get a little whiny.
But Howard is just his vocals are so powerful. But yeah, it's the nasally. I like melodic singing. I like it a lot. But yeah, it's the nasally tone. When you get too up here, I like more diaphragm. Like I want you pushing from the diaphragm, not the throat. But I mean, that's just a personal thing. But they're a great band otherwise. I love their theatrics.
No, I totally get it.
Sorry, the chat's going fast, guys. So we're trying to catch up. Will's asking us our thoughts on 80s, 90s horror remakes. Mostly garbage.
To me, remakes, it's like a case by case situation, you know, because we have there's been some really amazing remakes, but then there's also, you know, I think it's probably like 1 out of every 5 remakes is worth seeing. And then 1 out of every 10 is really good. So more times than not, they're not even worth seeing. And then even when they're decent, they're generally just kind of okay. But there has been some amazing ones, especially more recently, like the last 10 years, we've had some really good remakes. I think that people are starting to kind of figure out you can make a remake, but it's got to be its own thing. It's got to do its own thing. But even
Yeah,
ones
you
that I
gotta
think
make
are
it-
pretty
try to
good,
make a
like,
re-
but like I
You gotta
thought Rob
make it
Zombie's
original-
Halloween, I thought
Sorry.
it was really fucking good, but a lot of people hate it. You know, so it's like even ones that I that a lot of people think are good, you're still gonna have very divisive anytime you do a remake. It's just, you know, it's just how it goes.
Will, there are 2 Blob remakes.
Yeah. The
So
1980s,
and they're both good. They're both good.
the 80s Blob, I think, is probably the best one.
Yeah, I would agree. And the Thing, obviously the Thing remake, but the thing not only is
It's
the Thing
also not even a
remake,
remake.
it's not really a remake. I mean,
No.
there's arguments that
It's
can be
just
made.
based off the same source material. It's like Invisible Man from a couple years ago. Everybody called it a remake. It's not really a remake. It's literally just a version of the same source material, because like he did something very different with the Invisible Man. It's not anything like the 1930s or 20s black and white Invisible Man. You know, it's kind of like saying Hollow Man, same thing. Like Hollow Man
Oh
wasn't
God,
a
that
remake
movie.
of the.
Kevin
I'm just
Bacon.
saying it's not a remake either. Like when you use and that's the thing. The Thing is literally based off of the Thing from Another World book, but so was the Thing from Another World movie. And you know, so it's really just the one that's more of a remake, and it's not. It's a prequel. Is the early 2000s one, which, you know, it's not really a remake either because it's like a prequel. But
Drew, stop trolling this podcast.
what did he say?
He said a remake of Nightmare on Elm Street would be awesome. Stop. Get out of here.
I think you gotta, and I agree with him.
No,
But you got to do its own thing. Like it needs a reboot.
the 2010.
It needs a
remake of
reboot,
Nightmare
not a remake.
murdered
a
it.
reboot. Yeah, I agree. I hate that movie, but you're not making a sequel anymore. So if you're going to get a Nightmare on Elm Street, you got to make a remake. And so it's like a reboot. And that's what I want. I want to see someone make a reboot like Evil Dead did, like Fede Alvarez did with Evil Dead, or like what he just recently did with Alien. Like if you're going to do this thing in the franchise, do a new thing. Just use that same inspiration, but then make a whole new thing. And that's what has to happen with Nightmare on Elm Street. Otherwise, we'll never see Freddy again because Robert Englund isn't coming back for another one.
Right. John says,
So,
has
like-
Rob Zombie ever made a good movie? I know you're tight with them, but what movie do you think is his best?
I'm not tight with him. I'm friends with his bass player.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've never met the guy.
But that
he's
wouldn't
a great
matter.
guy.
Even if my
the
best
thing.
friend made a movie, I'd say if I liked it or not.
Right. Here's the thing about Rob Zombie. I think he is a flavor for some people, and I am not those people. I think his best movie is House of a Thousand Corpses, but
What?
even then, that movie is like,
No.
Yes.
I love House of a Thousand Corpses, but that's not his best movie.
what do
I
you
mean, I
his
think
best
most
movie is?
film critics considered Devil's Reject like his masterpiece. Like, that
Okay,
movie is
yeah,
really
no,
fucking
all right.
good.
You're
Like
right.
legitimately, like even if you
Yeah.
don't really like a lot of what he does, which I get, because like you're saying, he is a flavor. Every other movie he's made is a certain flavor that you either enjoy like I do or you don't. And I get that. But Devil's Rejects is literally a good movie, like legitimately a well-made movie, well-paced, well-written, great characters. Like it's a good movie.
Yeah, I think The Devil's Rejects is better than a Thousand Corpses. You're right.
But I do have more fun with House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I enjoy it more, but I don't think it's a better movie.
Oh yeah, Heather says The Fly remake. Yeah, what's probably one of
Yep.
the best remakes.
Yep. But once again, it's only really inspired from the same like source material, because it's very different than the 1950s The Fly. Like it's super different. And like that, to me, that's how you do a reboot. Is you're not gonna shot for shot remake like what they tried to do with Psycho in '99. Like that you do not do. Like don't.
Right.
That's why I hate the term remake. Like you shouldn't ever remake a movie. You can reboot a movie, but you should never remake it, because remaking it means you're trying to do the exact same movie over again, just like with a modern look on it or whatever. And that's just never going to work.
Azriel says, I'm a total hellbilly. Love Rob Zombie. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I said,
Yep.
he's got his fans.
Yep. Like to me, his music and his movies are a lot of the same. It's like if you either get his vision of art and enjoy his like the way he sees the world and when his you know what I mean, like, or you don't. And I get it. I totally get not liking it. But like I love that foul mouth, like obnoxious, over the top characters, that gritty grindhouse exploitation vibe that it has. Like I love that shit. But it's like Blackula, you know? Do you like Blackula? Do you like any of the 70s exploitation horror movies? You know, like a lot of people don't like those either. And that's what he's inspired from. Like his movies are inspired from that era of horror. And so it's a very kind of, what do you call it? It's a very narrow band.
Yeah. And Blackenstein. Like what else?
But just that whole exploitation, movies in general. Like you can't take any of them serious. And I think that's the problem a lot of people have with Rob Zombie movies is they take them all serious. And there's an element of tongue in cheek and an element of humor, like a dark sense of humor, like satire to a degree, that's in all of them. And like you either pick up on that or you don't. And if you pick up on that, like 31 is a perfect example of Rob Zombie. Like, I feel like if you don't like 31, then you're not going to like most of Rob Zombie's movies. Because to me, it's the most pure Rob Zombie movie. Like it's about the visuals. It's style over substance. You know what I mean? It's trashy. It's foul mouth. It has a really like dark, weird sense of humor. And like, I adore that movie. Yeah. I adore that movie, but I 100% get people thinking it's trash. Like I totally get it. It's like my art. Like I literally made art out of trash, and a lot of people see trash when they look at it. But there's some people that see the art in it, and the ones that saw the art in it got what I was doing as an artist.
Allison is asking if we ever watched Bunker. I have not.
No, I don't even know what that is.
Bunker? We gotta watch that.
What year?
Yeah, what year is it?
Yeah.
She also said she has a weird love for like history horror, but only if it's supernatural horror history. Actually, you know what? A movie you might.
You mean like period piece horror?
Oh yeah, is that what you mean, or do you mean like documentary type stuff? Because I want to bring up, since talking about metal again, bringing that up. There's a movie out called The History of Metal and Horror, and
Oh really? A documentary?
Yeah, it was a crowdfund like 4 years ago, and I contributed to it, but let me pull up their poster.
Where's it available?
It's a documentary on, I think it's on Prime, and it should be on Shudder.
On Shudder?
I'm pretty sure. Hang on.
When did this come out? How did I not see this, dude? Are you sure on Shudder?
I mean, maybe it's not on Shudder. I know it's out there.
On Shudder, I don't know about history of horror and metal.
Yeah, but it's metal and horror.
Oh, metal and horror.
Oh my god, let me just bring up the friggin' poster, boys.
Oh, hold on. Is that the one I crowdfunded too? That might be the one. I'm trying to remember. I think. No, I'm thinking of the. Yeah, it's not on Shudder unless it has a different name. But no, I crowdfunded the one that's like horror and mental health or whatever. But I still think that one's still not even out yet.
Oh my god, can I please just pull up the poster of this thing? Oh, it's on Screambox. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
So it's it should be on Prime and it's on Screambox. It's a good documentary. They got a lot of names in there too. I'm all right, never mind, guys. Sorry, I lied. Just Google the poster because I can't find a clean image to bring up.
But it's metal and horror?
History of metal and horror, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need to see this.
Bunker 2023. It's on YouTube. Cool. So we get to watch it.
Bunker is?
Yeah.
Okay.
James wants to know, Kanan, if you can mention the coffee table.
I love the coffee table. I've talked about it a bunch. If you look at my best of the year so far video I did back in the middle of summer, like at the halfway point of the year, that was my number one pick for the year. It's been surpassed now. Definitely the Substance I would take, I think, is above the Coffee Table. I think I would put Strange Darling above the Coffee Table as well.
Ooh, Strange
So,
Darling.
but I think the Coffee Table is probably my number 3 at this point. But I do, like I was saying earlier in the episode, I do think Heretic and Nosferatu are both going to end up being on that top of the year list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the Coffee Table still isn't like streaming for free anywhere. And I don't know why Shudder hasn't picked that up, or someone. It was streaming for a week on Tubi, and then now it's back to being a rental. But if you like super dark, super dark, like pitch black dark sense of humor, the Coffee Table is phenomenal. But it's as fucked up of a movie as you're gonna get. Like, it's super fucked up and dark and twisted.
Jeremy wants to know if we've seen Ouija House with Misha Barton. Says it's a modern masterpiece. Have not seen it. No. Cool. Movie Rex.
Now, is that a movie by your friend? Because I get that a lot. People that are like, so, and I look it up and it's like literally just came out and I've never heard anybody talk about it.
We don't want to watch your friends' movies.
Well, no, I'm not against watching your friend's movie, but don't think it's the best of the year when there's, I'd rather you be honest and just be like, my buddy's made a movie that it's really good. I think you should check it out. Like, I'd much rather that. Like when people tell me best of the year and it's like got a $5 budget. I'm like, come on, guys. Because you got to remember this. If you recommend a movie and I do check it out, I give it about 10 minutes. Like, this is how my system works. I watch a movie for about 10 minutes. And if it holds me for 10 minutes, then I go to 20. And from there. So if I recommend a movie, it means that it kept me for the entire movie, and I felt like it was worthy of telling you guys about. So if you want me to check out a buddy's movie, and if it's really not that good, I'll find out quick enough, and then I'm not going to talk about it. So, but it's rare that I talk about a micro budget movie because there's too many of them. I literally get emails just about every day from filmmakers wanting me to review their horror short or their horror movie. And like, I wish that we lived in a world where I could, but there's just too many of them. And I don't have the time to watch that many. And more than that, I can't make a video about a movie like that because YouTube won't push it because nobody will watch it. So it doesn't help your buddies out. And it definitely doesn't help me out because, like, this is my job. If I make a video, I need to get some people to watch it so that it's worth my time. Like, I wish I could do this for free, but I got to make a living too.
So Will
that's
wants to
why
know
you don't see me doing more little indie stuff.
Will wants to know what movie got us both into horror. For me, it's kind of complicated just because ever since I was a kid, I was always into like spooky stuff. And my parents were evangelical Christians, and so I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of stuff or do anything.
Yep.
Like, I was especially Halloween. And so when I finally was liberated at the I was doing spooky stuff behind their back, but as kids do. But I didn't get to see my first like real horror movie until I was 16, and it was The Ring.
Yep, same here.
And that's what got me into it. So that's me.
Mine's story's almost the exact same, but I didn't see my first real horror movie till I was about 16 as well. Although I did see the It miniseries somehow. I don't know how I saw it. I don't even remember seeing it. I just know my sister told me that we watched it somehow, probably just because it was like on regular TV. And I saw Jurassic Park. So like I kind of was slowly brought in by seeing things that were kind of on the fringes of horror. Like some old black and white stuff. My first like real horror movie that scared me, that legitimate horror movie, I was 16 and I was at my aunt's house and I watched Pet Sematary, the first one.
Nice.
It had been out for a little while. It was on like HBO, but it scared me and I just loved the aesthetic of it. And it was like, I need more of this.
I guess I could say like my first like official horror movies were when I was watching like reruns of Elvira's show when I was a
Yeah.
kid but I don't remember any of them, and I was
No.
honestly only watching it for Elvira anyway.
Yeah.
So like
But it
that's
was all like made. It was
all
all
made for TV
on
stuff. Yeah,
TV, so like it was
yeah.
neutered and shit. And a lot of that was like the really old black and white stuff. Like you had, like what are the ones they played a lot? Like they played um Carnival of Souls, like stuff like that, like the evil, like Night of the Living Dead. You know, like I'm pretty sure I saw Night of the Living Dead when I was younger, like the original black and white one. But once again, when it's on TV, especially back then, like when people hear a movie on TV now, they don't think of it the same. But back then, they would literally cut out like 30 minutes of a movie. Like stuff didn't even make sense. They would have like, they would dub over weird things where someone would say fuck and they'd dub it over saying fruit. Stuff that just like random and didn't even make any sense in the
These
sentence.
monkey flying snakes.
Yep. Exactly.
Velocipaster is an incredible movie. I love it.
Oh my God. No, it is not.
It is.
Don't you have a friend in that one?
No, I don't know any of those guys. Velocipaster is one of those intentionally so bad.
I know someone that's in it. I think.
It's because it's by filmmakers who know how to make movies, so they know exactly how to break the rules. Yeah. And that's what I love so much about it. It's great.
I don't know. I've just never been a huge fan of like the bad movie made to be a bad movie. Like a bad movie to me that I enjoy is when the filmmakers are actually trying to make a good movie and it just, because of the budget and different reasons, it ends up not being good. Like those are fun bad movies. But like, you know, like you got a Sharknado or whatever, or people are, or like Lamageddon, where they're, or like
She Kills.
Thanksgiving is a good example where
Thanksgiving's good.
But it's not good. It's like,
it's not good. I'm sorry. When I say it's good, it's like it's the movies that they know what they are. And so that's why I think they're good.
I don't hate that stuff.
It's entertaining.
I'm just not a big fan.
Like She Kills is another movie that's like, it knows what it is and it's entertaining and it's funny and it's just like it just doubles down on all the different tropes of movies at the time that, you know, that they're trying to riff off of. And I just think,
but like the ones that I like is like zombie strippers, because it's like they have shit budget. They got a bunch of strippers and porn stars, and it's horrible in every sense of the word. But the filmmaker was literally trying his best to make a good horror movie. Like what's it called? Damn it, it's the Ghost Shark one. What the hell's the name of it?
Ghost Shark?
Is it Shark Exorcist or whatever? Oh, that's what it's called. Damn it,
Shark
I can't remember the name of it. No, I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically like ghost sharks are killing people. And it's like,
that's hilarious.
Or sand sharks is another one where they're just so bad, but everybody's trying their best in the movie, which is what makes it bad and makes it fun. Like to me, when someone's trying to make a bad movie, it just doesn't have that same like earnestness, this same like people trying to make a good movie that turns bad. Like that's just more fun to me.
Azrael, you watched Hell Night at 3. How do you remember that? I don't remember any, like 3 years old. Yeah. How do you remember that? That's amazing.
Yeah. I personally don't remember much of anything before I was like 16. Like I have very little memory of, you know, like flashes of memory, but as far as movies, I don't remember much of anything before I was like 15.
James says, 16. I remember going to the high school dance and the people at the door had Halloween on and about 8 of us skipped the dance and watched the movie. That's hilarious.
Yep. I don't even remember the first time I watched the movie Halloween. Like I just remember, I know I've seen it and I was probably like 16, 17 and I've watched it like pretty much every single year in the month of October ever since.
Yeah.
But like there's certain movies that I don't even know the first time I watched it. It's just like I've watched it so many times. Like The Fog is another one like that where I've just seen it so many times and I don't even remember when I first started. Hellraiser. I actually do remember the first time I saw Hellraiser because I was getting this tattoo on my bicep It was my
Nice.
first tattoo, and I was on I was at an Air Force base with a pilot who had his own little machine that he had made, and we were in the barracks, and he was tattooing me and my buddy, and we were watching Hellraiser. It's very
Leslie says that
memorable.
Leslie's like, we were a Christian /
Hey,
horror house.
Leslie.
She said we had horror on Saturday and church on Sunday. How do you wreck? That's so not fair.
That's
That's
awesome.
not
I know. I wish, because my family was super religious too, but like we weren't allowed to, it wasn't even just horror. Like we weren't allowed to watch like any secular stuff. Like pretty much everything we got to watch until I was like a teenager was like Christian stuff. It would be like those stupid Christian cartoons, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like with that stupid little puppet dog. If I can't remember the name of it.
Heather says the same thing. She said my family's the opposite. We're Christians and love horror. Think she watched the
Which
first
is how
5.
Which is how it should be.
I know.
Like, I'm not Christian, and I'm not into all that, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't feel like horror should go against any of your spiritual beliefs. Like it's fucking fiction. You know what I mean? It's like,
and you can learn a lot. I mean, I think all Christians
too.
should watch The Exorcist.
Yep. Well, and I mean, I would even understand if there's certain horror movies. Like I would even understand that, like, especially when you're young. Like I get if you're not letting your 5, 6, 7-year-olds watch horror movies, and especially certain ones. But like my issue is it's like, you got a 15, 16-year-old and you're still not letting them watch horror movies and stuff. It's just like, and you're not even letting them watch Scooby-Doo. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's what I was raised. Like we weren't even allowed to watch like Scooby-Doo. So
same.
But I'm actually going to go in a little bit and see Bride of Chucky. They're playing it at the theater near me. So
nice.
What about you? What are your plans this rest of this evening?
The rest of the evening, I'm going to finish smoking this hookah. I'm going to finish eating my dinner, and then I might watch a movie. I just watched. So I've been watching, it's not horror, but I've been watching the Penguin TV show.
I know. I need to watch that.
It's
Everybody's
so
raving
good.
about it.
It is so much better than it should be. And
it's coming out weekly though, right? Like one episode
it comes out every
each
Sunday.
Week?
Every Sunday on
How many episodes?
Max? 6.
How many episodes in? 6. Is
so
it an 8-episode season, or do you know? How many?
Well, if it's an 8-episode season, they need to start wrapping shit up quick because they're on episode 6, and like I feel like this show just turned.
Yeah,
like it just had its. Well, first
but we also know it already got a second season. So there might be a little bit of a cliffhanger.
But if they end it in a stupid way because they know they have a second season, I'm gonna be pissed.
I don't think that this was written and made to have a second season though. So I don't know. We'll see. I got to still watch it. I've been watching a little bit. It's hard for me to watch series, but I've been watching. I've watched like 5 or 6 episodes, I think. It's called Grotesquerie. It's over on Hulu. It's okay. It's like a 7, like the movie 7, but like a little weirder and a little more horror. But it's basically about this detective who is trying to hunt down this serial killer, and it's really gory. It's really brutal. It's on FX like normally, but I'm watching it on Hulu, but it's really good, dude. Like if you're a fan of Silence of the Lambs and 7, but especially stuff that's even more horror. Like, you know what it feels like? Did you ever see the series Priest?
No. I'm aware of it, but I haven't watched it.
Because Priest is weird as fuck. Super fucking weird. So it's like if you take Priest and like the movie 7 or the TV series Hannibal. Like if you take Hannibal and mix it with Priest, it's kind of like that. Because it's like some really weird off the wall, like character stuff and like people that are like stuff that's just strange, but in like a fun way. But then it's also really twisted and fucked up. Like this guy is going around and killing like entire families and shit. Like it's super fucked up. So like good. It's really good. So I was actually impressed. And then I finished watching a series on Prime called Edge of Sleep. Like I don't know if you know who it's a famous YouTuber and I just blinked on his name. But anyway, it's like his show he's acting in, but he's actually really good. Oh, Markiplier.
Oh, Markiplier. I don't watch a lot of TV.
I don't either. I don't have time for it.
I wasn't going to watch The Penguin, but I just kept hearing how good it was. So I was like, all right, I'll give the first episode a watch, and I was just hooked. Plus, it's the
Yep.
Penguin, and like I'm into Batman, and like you know what I mean. So it's like it's probably a little bit easier for me to get hooked on something like that. But just the writing is just so good.
Well, it's one that I got to watch because like this newest Matt Reeves Batman, it isn't horror, but it's close. You know, it's like fringing on horror with a serial killer in it and everything. And so it's like, to me, Penguin, like it's still Matt Reeves. So it's like part
It's
of
like
that same
horror
universe.
adjacent.
I want to keep following that universe. That's what I mean. Like it's on the fringes.
So Batman should be a noir. It should definitely be noir. So you definitely have that darker, like a gothic noir is what it should be. And the way to nail Batman, other than the obvious, is to make sure that Gotham itself is a character in whatever you're doing, because it absolutely is. And Gotham has always been a very unique city, and it's always had that gothic architecture,
Mhm.
darker, rainy, moody, noir, gothic. That's what it is. And that's why Batman fits so perfectly into being the protector of that city. And so one of my few critiques of the Nolan Batmans is that Gotham is just not present at all in those movies.
Yeah.
Like it might as well be New York or Chicago.
That's what I
Gotham
love
is.
about Matt Reeves' Batman
And
is
and that's what I was about
you
to
got
say.
a
Is
lot
that
of
Matt
shots
Reeves,
of the whole city. The
yeah,
city itself had a very unique look to it. Everything had that dingy, like grimy feel. You got plenty of shots of like the hood rats in the city, you know, running around breaking laws and shit. Like, yeah, I agree. You see Batman on the streets. Like that's just important. Whereas like in Nolan's, it just looked like any other city. You know, like when you did see the city, it just was like your run of the mill skyscrapers and, you know, downtown city. Like it didn't Dark Knight and stuff. They weren't very horror, you know, like whereas
right.
Matt Reeves is much more horror. Like
Which
it's
is why.
much closer to horror, I should say.
So one of my dream movies that I would love to make, and I have a script idea for it. It is a horror. It is a Batman horror movie where Scarecrow is the main villain,
Mhm.
and not the Scarecrow of the Nolan verse, obviously, but like the
But of
comics,
well, and they had the animated movie,
right?
the
And I
last
have him
or what is
tattooed.
it?
I have him
It's
tattooed on my
what
arm.
is it called? Like Last Halloween or
The Long Halloween.
Long Halloween, yeah.
I'm gonna see
And
if I
that's
can't
what
show.
the rumors are. That's what this you just disappeared.
I know I'm coming back.
But the rumors are that the next Matt Reeves Batman is going to be at least inspired from that graphic novel.
Sorry, I'm trying to find because I really like. Hang on, I'm gonna show my messy ass room.
You're also dark as hell over there.
Listen, man, I'm trying.
You guys need to yell at him too. We're trying to get him to get a light.
So it's a little bit faded, but there's the Scarecrow on my my fucking sleeve. But the reason why
I see it. That's cool, dude. That's really cool.
So the reason why I like oh my god, I got a green screen. Hang on.
It's going to suck without Kanan this year. Oh, your Halloween.
I know, it was so cool last year. I got to spend Halloween with Leslie out in Florida. We went to
Florida.
Universal Studios. Like I'm
See you later, Will.
not really
Thanks for
doing
joining us.
anything, I don't think, for Halloween now.
We're going to be going until we leave because it's our Halloween special episode. So we're going to be going until we leave. But thanks for hanging out. Good to see you. Anyway, back to my story. So I want to write a horror Batman movie where Scarecrow is the villain, because Scarecrow, the reason why I love that villain so much is because Scarecrow is what Bruce Wayne could have been if he went crazy the bad way. Because there's a lot of similarities between Scarecrow and Batman, and between oh my god, what is wrong with my brain?
But it's like if Batman leaned into the fear instead of like let the fear, instead of like if the fear started to control him instead of him controlling the fear. Like when they do that whole where he has to overcome his fear.
Right.
Whereas
Jonathan Crane.
Scarecrow,
Sorry, I couldn't think of his friggin' name. Jonathan Crane and Bruce Wayne, like they're similar in a lot of ways. And yeah, if Batman would have went crazy in the evil way, he would have been
Mhm.
Scarecrow. And I just love that. And they have similar fears and they have similar ways that they, that they approach things. And so being able to see an actual Batman horror movie with Scarecrow as the main villain, I just think would be incredible. And I would just love to see that because the setting is perfect for it. And he's just a great villain for Batman to go up against.
Yep. That's why I'm hoping that the next Matt Reeves Batman, that Scarecrow is the villain and that he goes and leans into that direction. Because I think that his version of Batman is the best suited for telling that story. Because like when we saw Scarecrow in what was it? Was it Dark Knight? Which one of the Nolan ones had Scarecrow?
Yeah, it was Batman Begins had Scarecrow
Yeah.
as the secondary villain, and I didn't like it. Like
Nope.
I liked what's his name, the actor. I liked
Oh
the way
yeah,
that he played
Cillian
Jonathan
Murphy
Crane.
is incredible.
That's it,
but
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah,
I liked the
I
way he
agree.
played Jonathan Crane. I liked his mask. I liked the whole thing, but it just wasn't Scarecrow. You know what I mean?
No. It just I don't know. He felt like a side character in that too, and I feel like
Well, he was.
I want him to. But I'm saying, like, to do it right, he really needs to be the central figure. You know, the way the Riddler was the central villain in the first Matt Reeves Batman. Like, you know what I mean? He is the guy. He's the guy you're worried about and dealing with. It's like I'm not a fan of these comic book movies putting too many fucking villains and too many characters. Like, we need to go back to the basics and have one good hero and one good villain and see those. Like, when did this begin now where you got to have like 5 heroes, you know what I mean? And like a bunch of different levels of villains. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Because it does is water them all down. Like, it was one thing with the Avengers because it was like we had all these characters built up to this crescendo where they were all uniting, right?
Yeah.
And even then, you only had really one villain, though. They were all going up against this one villain.
Right.
But like now, it's like all these fucking movies, you got like every one of them seems to have, you'll have your, like even Shang-Chi, right? You have Shang-Chi, but then you got to have like 3 other side characters. And
Yeah.
like every one of them, even if it's supposed to be so-and-so's backstory, they still have like 3 or 4 sidekicks. It's just like too much.
Yeah,
bullshit.
John, the Cult is great. That would be a great storyline to go with. I agree.
Well, I need to wrap this up.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm just gonna go through these. I'm gonna go through these chats real quick, and then you can get out of here.
Yeah.
Wolf says, I think Matt Reeves is going to save the next rendition of the Joker for the last Batman film. What are your thoughts? I hope he doesn't. I love the Joker. Love the Joker. I would also
Joker
like a
is
break.
definitely not in the next one. We know that.
I would like
sure.
a break from the Joker. And I don't think he's going to be in the next
Yeah.
one, but I would rather he not do it. I would like a break from the Joker. Batman has one of the best rogues galleries. He has some of the best villains.
And we haven't ever seen it really utilized.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if he does a Joker, I think it won't be for a while. Like, definitely not the next movie.
Yeah.
But he already did tease a Joker a little bit, so I do think at some point we will see the Joker. But I think even when we do see his Joker, it's going to be a very different Joker.
It is. It's going to be different.
Yeah. So I just am kind of on board to see what he does. Like, let the guy cook, because so far he looks like he knows what the fuck he's doing, because I haven't seen Penguin yet, but everybody says it's amazing.
Well, Matt Reeves isn't doing Penguin.
He's the showrunner.
No, the showrunner is a lady. Give me a second.
He's involved. I'm pretty sure he's involved, dude, on some level.
Lauren LaFranc.
He's involved somehow.
Is the creator and showrunner.
So he's not involved at all?
I don't think so, unless he's like a producer.
That seems odd because this is based off of his movie.
It takes place in that universe. Yeah, he's not listed. Oh, he's an executive producer.
I just wonder how much input that means he's.
I mean, I'm sure he has something.
I mean, he's listed as a producer, but so is Colin Farrell. So,
well, yeah, but I'm sure Matt Reeves. I mean, it takes place in his universe, so he's going to be a producer. But the showrunner is Lauren LaFranc, and the writers are everybody that's not Matt Reeves. And they have.
It's just interesting to me because like he's the one that started all this. Like, and he's definitely directing the next Batman movie. And he's been the one announcing it and involved in all of the announcements for this series. So it's odd to me if he's not, you know.
Also, the Penguin, I want to make a little statement here, and this is my personal opinion. This is my personal my personal statement. But for people that are like screeching about women and minority content creators and filmmakers and stuff like that, and how people don't like it just because it's, you know, a woman or a minority or whatever, the Penguin flies in the face of that. Being created and written by Lauren LaFranc and having an excellent story and excellent writing. This is that nobody cares that she's a woman. The only thing that people care about is if it's good or not. And she has done an incredible job with this show. And I can't wait to see more stuff from her. And I really consider myself a majority part of fans of comic books and properties like this that are constantly under attack from studios when they release their bullshit and say that it's just toxic fandom. It's not. It's your shit sucks. The Penguin is great, and it's better than it should have been. I wasn't planning on watching this, and it just started, word of mouth just started spreading, and nobody mentioned that Lauren LaFranc was a woman. Nobody mentioned it. They didn't care. All they cared about was how great it was. And that's what us as fans of these properties, that's what we look for, is we look for content that is taken care of, because Lauren LaFranc obviously likes the character, likes the property that she's been given, and she has knocked it out of the park. This is a home run show, and I can't wait to see more stuff from her.
Well, and like a good example of that is The Substance. It's a woman who made the movie.
Yep.
It's
I was just about to say that.
all about women, and the story is mostly focused on women's struggle. And it's something that is a very important issue and something that a lot of movies and things have tried to tackle. And in a lot of cases, you hear people going, you know, I don't want to hear it. It's just women's struggle bullshit, right? But nobody says that with it. Well, very few anyway are saying that with this, because it's fucking good.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when a message is done correctly, it doesn't matter, you know, because then you actually, and that's what I'm always like, the point and the message is so much more impactful when it's a good movie, and it's not try hard. It's not trying to force an issue. It just makes a good film or TV series or whatever. You know, instead of it being agenda driven, which is like Disney's big mistake that they've been making for so long, is instead of making a good story, they're just more focused on the right amount of this or that. Like, we want to make sure we have this amount of minorities and this amount of this or whatever. And the story has to have to do with this. And you know what I mean? Enforcing this agenda down people's throats. And that's what people get sick of. And then you have all these people out there constantly whining about, you know, everything's fucking woke and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, unfortunately, those waters have gotten super muddied.
Yeah.
When everybody is yelling woke, because even though these are important messages and important things, when you have someone like Disney that's just force feeding it and, like, you know what I mean? Not even putting it in a good story. They're just forcing it into a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And social commentary is important. If you know, if you want to talk about these things, absolutely talk about them. Nobody's saying that you can't or that you shouldn't. You have to have good characters. You have to have a good story. You can put the message has to serve the story. The story should not serve the message. That's where it gets all screwed up. But I wanted to get on my soapbox here.
Well said. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And just say that, because I think this is a perfect example of that. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it for us guys. And thank you so much for joining us on our Halloween show.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween.
You guys all have an amazing Halloween tomorrow.
And we will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.